Hello everyone, today I'm here with Kazi. We have done our master's degree in University of Luxembourg, and as many of you asked us to share our experience in the University of Luxembourg, today we are going to talk about our experience as a master's degree that we finished our program in civil engineering, Master of Civil Engineering, which we call it here megastructures with sustainable approach. And we are going to talk about the pros and cons of studying in the University of Luxembourg so you can make your decision to choose your future university with open eyes. And yeah, that's it. Say hello if you want.
Hey.
Yeah,
So
if
we
you
are
want to
gonna talk
introduce.
about the experience, social interactions, also about the communications that we had with professors and different topics. So I hope that you will like it and you can leave the comments if you have any questions.
So you started with the interaction with professors. So I want to start with the first bad points for studying the University of Luxembourg, especially for master or bachelor students. So the bad point is that in not many, but like 50-50 classes, you are not gonna interact with the professors themselves directly because there are many PhD students here and postdoc as well, and they send their staff, their PhD students to the classes, and sometimes till end of the course you are not gonna see the professor. So it sometimes is not good, and especially if you want to do research, you don't have access to the professor. If you have any problem, yeah, sometimes it's kind of I don't know. What do you
Yes,
think?
it's not easy to contact the professor. That happens to us in the first semester, I think. And I remember when I was checking the master before coming here, I was checking the professors and I checked the professors' backgrounds and experiences. And I remember I thought, okay, the professor would be great because it has this knowledge and this knowledge, so everything will be great. And then in class, it's supposed to, I don't know, be present, the professor in the classroom, and suddenly you don't see the professor, you just see the PhD students.
Yes.
But I'm not saying that the assistants, like these big PhD students, are professors' assistants. So they're not really ignorant about the topic. Of course, they know. They are really aware of all the topics.
Not always.
Yes, in my opinion, yes. They are aware of the topics. And actually, I didn't have any issues with the PhD students. Just it was a surprise for me because I was expecting to have classes with the professor.
Yeah, in master level.
Exactly. No, with a PhD student. But I'm not saying that the classes were unprofessional because everything was correct and we did all the homeworks and everything as we need to. So that's one point.
No, classes are professional, I agree. And we can start with the first good point that I believe that the campus is very how they say is modern, especially we have two main campuses. We have three, but two of them is main, and the one in the Belval is very modern, so you expect a good environment for studying and pursuing your research or studying whatever. And there are also good offices for PhD students. Classes are good, the building is very beautiful. We have also a library which is beautiful, and general the atmosphere of the campus is very good. So it's a good point of the University of Luxembourg. And in terms of atmosphere of the campus, also I need to mention that you're not gonna face racism because generally in Luxembourg the nations are very diverse, and there is no dominant race or nation in Luxembourg or in your classes. Most of the time you are very diverse. The students are from all around the world, so it's good and mainly in assessing your homework or assignment, or at the end for final exams you're gonna face, I believe, fair assessment. What do you think? It's fair?
Same. Of course, everybody has a different experience, but I come from Latin America, and I have 100% good experience here in Luxembourg. Like, I haven't experienced any racism, nothing like that, or discrimination. And when I apply to any job, they have reached back to me saying yes or no, but it doesn't really, the answer doesn't have to do with your background or your country or your citizenship. So with that point, I agree. It's international. This country is really international, and everybody is used to see people from all around the world.
Yes, yeah, definitely. So we mentioned that the buildings are very modern, both for accommodation, university residence, and the campus in Belgrade. Not in the Kirchberg is not modern, but in Belgrade is really modern and beautiful with good atmosphere. But accommodation can be very challenging. We have a special video for accommodation. You can see here. If I don't forget to put it here, I don't know. But you can search in the channel and find it out. But it can be really challenging. And if you're lucky, university will give you university residence, which can be expensive or not, from 300 to 800, 700. It depends. It give you a room or studio. But for PhD students, almost definitely will receive a studio, which the price will be around 700, 800, if I'm not mistaken, this range. And yeah, what do you think about the accommodation?
It's okay. It's nice. It's safe.
Yeah, here it is.
And because I only know this accommodation. The university has like 20, I think, 20 accommodations, but I just know this one. And it's safe, it's pretty, it has everything you need. It's not expensive. It has a medium price. It's also not cheap, but it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
So
yes,
yeah,
exactly. And let's talk about another good point in the University of Luxembourg. The good point is that you can find a student job while you're studying. You have a good chance to find a student job while you're studying your master's degree in comparison to other universities in Europe. For example, the ratio of the faculty members to students are good, and there are not many students, so you can contact the professor and ask for a position as a research assistant. If not, you can also apply for some administrative jobs, or work in the office for the university. That one also you have a good job for IT or similar jobs. And because in other universities that there are many students and in contact with the professor, and professor may not have the open position for master students, it would be very difficult to find a research assistant job. But in University of Luxembourg, I believe you have higher chance compared to other universities in Europe. What do you think about the student job?
I mean, in my experience, you need French. We also have another video here talking about that.
A student job, you
student
can check it
jobs.
out. It's here,
And,
if I don't forget.
Yeah. But as I said before, it's not matter about racism or discrimination. If you know the topics, if you know the language, if you know the task that you have to do, they will hire you. So there are jobs here in Luxembourg, there are places to work. It's not really complicated to find it, but you have to meet the requirements. So that's the matter. You have to fulfill all the requirements. And sometimes if you don't know French, you can feel a disadvantage compared to other people, mostly because here there's a lot of people from France to come and work here in Luxembourg. Of course, they know French already.
Yeah.
So if they see a resume that is yours, and you know, in my case, I know Spanish, English, a little of German, but zero French, and you see another CV when it's only French, but here in Luxembourg, I think French is the most important language.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So if they see French, you will be with that advantage.
Yeah. As Kazi mentioned, the language can be a real barrier in Luxembourg while you're studying and after your graduation, especially French. And especially for some specific majors like architecture, civil engineering, and yes, some kind of, but for computer stuff majors, I think is not a real barrier, so you can easily find a job with English. And yeah, let's finalize the general aspect, then talk about specifically about our major. So I will mention some general aspect about the University of Luxembourg. Then we are gonna talk about the Master of Civil Engineering. So then you can, if you are not interested in civil engineering, you can stop watching. So let me start with we mentioned that you cannot see professors in your courses sometimes, but keep in mind that you can contact professor, and most of them they answer you by email. Specifically, if you are interested in research, it's a very good point for especially students come here to continue for PhD, or I don't know, they are interested in doing research. It's a very good point. Even for the course matters, they are responsible and responsive to your email. So if you have questions, you are not feel lonely and alone, because the TAs, the PhD students, and the professors always are responsive and they answer your questions.
Yeah, it's just I have to say something before I forgot about the professors. And we were talking earlier about the jobs, and sometimes if you have some recommendation letter for one of these professors, this country is really small and everybody knows everybody. So if you say that you are a student of this university and you go to these Luxembourgish companies, and they will ask you, which professor do you have? Are you working with this professor or this professor? And sometimes if you have a recommendation letter of these important professors in this university, you can have a better chance to find a job. So that's one thing that I want to say before I forgot. We can go to the next topic.
Yes, yeah. I think the last point that I want to talk about, the general aspect, it's this university for research and for education have good equipment, and especially in terms of financial matters, they are not stingy, they pay if the students need. For example, for license, if you need a specific license, if you need a specific research paper, they will pay for you. And if you need a special equipment for your research, they will pay for the equipment. Maybe you need to wait some time, 3 or 4 months, if it is a real big equipment. But it's not gonna be a very long time. So in terms of equipment, it is very good. And also you have access to HPC, high performance computing, which, for example, you can have access to 100 cores, and if you dealing with research that needs, it's computationally demanding, this HPC can help you a lot. And for example, you have 4 rounds, each of them 100 cores, and altogether 400 cores or 500 cores. and each course is more stronger than even a normal core in your PC. And also in terms of equipment for research facilities, it's fine. It's fine, especially for PhD students. What do you think?
No, I don't have any experience with PhD or
Yeah.
PhD students, to be honest. So
But in terms of license for software, they give you,
yeah. But for example, we can have a student's license easily, but that doesn't really have to do with the university itself. Here in Luxembourg, they really like to use German softwares, so they have really good connections. And if you go specifically to this web page of these softwares, and you have how can I say it, enrollment certificate, and you can have a student license.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
but that is for students, and it does not matter if you're a student in this university or in another university about the license, in my experience. And about research, I also have, I don't have any experience about that.
Okay,
So-
okay, that's fine, that's fine. And I'm done with the general aspect. Now, since then forward, we are going to talk about the civil engineering, Master of Civil Engineering in Luxembourg. So if you are not interested, you can already pause the video. But please, if you find this video informative, you can subscribe or like, or if you have any question, please put a comment below and I will answer it. Thank you very much. So about the Master of Civil Engineering, one thing that is mentioned in the program webpage, they mention that it's industrial based and you have a professor from the industry. Somehow it's true, but I just wanted to mention that in this point is not gonna help you to find a job. In some rare cases maybe, but generally no, because those people come from industry, they are normal employee from some companies. They are not gonna hire you or they have any power to help you, and most cases those courses are not very professional. So for that point that is mentioned in the webpage, I don't agree with that, and I didn't find it very helpful to my studies. What do you think?
Yeah, for me, it was helpful because you can see the experience not only in the classroom, not only in the laboratory making research. The professors really have this industrial background, and in my experience, because I also have had experience in Chile, I have experience here in Luxembourg, so I like to compare those two experiences, and professors can just make clear advices to us, say that what a specific topic is more important or which things you need to know for really have like this advantage, and companies can see you and see your CV, your resume, and you will have like this advantage compared to
Yes. Yeah, I
other
agree.
people. So in that point, I think, and for me, I think it's helpful because it depends on the field that you want to work on later. If you want to be a researcher, if you want to be a researcher, but you can just go to that matter and go directly to these analytical professors. But in my case, I would like to work in the industry, some company. So for me, it's important to have this type of professors because they will tell me, okay, you need to know this and this and this in order to be like a good candidate and for companies.
Yeah, definitely. And the normal professors mostly have industrial background, that is good, but we have also external, I cannot say professors, but yeah, external instructors that are responsible for the classes. We have that one too as well. And yeah, altogether we have industrial and research-based studies here too. And the last point let's wrap up the video. is that what I wanted to say. This program do not prepare you for a special narrow specialty as a very a specific engineer. For example, we have courses from for traffic, soil, water. It is very broad, and you're not gonna at the end say that I'm a structural engineer or I'm a traffic engineer, I'm soil engineer. No, there are courses from everywhere, and yeah, that aspect is not really fun for me. It's not very helpful, and it doesn't prepare you for the job market after your studies, because you have knowledge from everything and not really expert in one specific area.
Okay, I have the same opinion as you, but not 100%. In my point of view, I would like to know a little bit of everything, because I think if I have this knowledge in a wide range of fields in the civil engineering, I have more chance maybe to find a job. So maybe I have this knowledge about water management, about economy, about structural engineering, about sound mechanics. I'm not gonna be in disadvantage 100% if I want to go to this field or to this field and so on. So looking everything from that point of view, I like this way to have these courses. But I also agree with Shaheen that I would like to be an expert of something. And sometimes we have classes and courses that are not really that important. It's only, in my point of view, waste of time. And maybe I would like to have more specific courses. So yeah, that is my opinion. I can see both sides of, I don't know, something can be an advantage or disadvantage. But I know that in your experience, you would like to be like more specific in the knowledge. And in my with my experience, if I go to a structural company, I would like to know and tell them I know to do this, even if the basics, I know how to do it. Or if I go to a company, a waste management company, maybe I don't know, I'm not an expert, but I know the basics. And same with different type of companies. So I think it's an advantage in this matter. But I can see also your point of view.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I'm done. If you are
with the video?
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video, and if you have any question, please don't doubt to comment it. I will answer. And yeah, I wish you luck with your future studies. Peace.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.